Groundhog Day. Let's try this again. Joe Biden has asked one Amy Klobuchar, Klob, to basically to undergo vetting in order to be the vice presidential pick. Now, my thought, I said this maybe months ago, that Kamala Harris will probably be the person who Joe Biden chooses. She's female. She's an African American. By the same token, he is vetting other people that are on that short list. The catch here that I've made to people is that he may not choose somebody who's an African American, either Abrams or Harris, because he doesn't have to. Joe Biden is going to get 90% support of African Americans without doing anything for African Americans. And so if you're getting that much support from that particular demographic, you don't really have to do anything for that demographic, and you go searching for some of the other people that you may need in that race. The reason that he's going to choose somebody like Klobuchar has nothing to do with policy. It has everything to do with the state, meaning Minnesota. If Klobuchar can deliver Minnesota and the surrounding states, it may be somewhat of a good choice. By the same token, the question is, can Klobuchar deliver those states? This is kind of like Tim Kaine 2.0. Basically, Hillary Clinton, after running in a race, nearly losing against a socialist, chooses Tim fucking Kaine, as if Tim Kaine was going to get her something. Well, she did get Virginia, but I would make the point that she barely got Virginia, and that had nothing to do with Tim Kaine. In this very specific case, the choice of Klobuchar basically has more to do with Klobuchar potentially bringing in the Midwest as opposed to Klobuchar. Klobuchar shown herself on the debate stage to be dramatically thin-skinned. She's known to be horrible and nasty to her staff, and you could kind of see that on a debate stage. Prickly, temperamental, egotistical, and yet being vetted for the vice presidency. This would be a horrible choice. You have the majority of the people choosing somebody like Elizabeth Warren. Now, I think reason, on the part and parcel to the reason of that, the majority would have chosen Sanders for the VP spot, but Biden was never going to choose Sanders for the VP spot. He said he wanted a woman. I have a hard time believing he would even choose Warren, if I'm being honest. Despite the fact that she's repudiated Medicare for all and any notion of integrity she was willing to burn in order to try to get that VP spot. But I strongly suspect that, considering that many people in this electorate, I think to the tune of like 70% at one point, was looking for a policy choice of basically lefty policies. And even in areas where Bernie Sanders lost dramatically, talking about like in the South, his policies still won. And in a situation where Sanders was able to basically win the policy argument despite losing the electability argument, again, he never fought on the electability, but he never fought on the very thing that the audience was choosing by. But despite that fact that he lost on the electability argument, the fact that he won the policy argument, if indeed your objective is to unify the party, and if indeed your objective is to somehow bring lefties along with you, one of the worst choices that you could make is Amy Klobuchar, Tim Kaine 2.0. It's just an update. Look, there's a few people on that short list. Warren, Harris, Abrams. Abrams is not going to be VP, so let's take her off the list. There's another woman that just came out, but now Klobuchar. You don't have to do anything for blacks when they're voting to the tune of 90%. By the same token, he still may throw him a bone. So who knows? This is one of those things where they put the stuff out almost as a trial balloon sometimes to see how the public reacts to it. My suspicion is that the public is not going to care. It is a boring choice. I'm almost going to sleep, even in doing the video. Like, share, and subscribe. This would be an utterly abominable choice if he is indeed trying to unify the party. But we'll see. These guys tend to be tone deaf. And the fact that 88% of Democrats support Medicare for all and Joe Biden is like, I would veto that policy, shows that he basically doesn't give a shit about what you think. In the same way that Clinton ran that race where she acted as if she was the savior of America because she was a person running against Donald Trump. Well, Joe Biden has a bit of that running also, telling people that, hey, go vote for Trump. Hey, vote for Trump. He is not trying to get your vote. He is not trying to ingratiate himself from the standpoint of getting you to support him based on the policies that he's putting out. This is basically an argument that Donald Trump is horrible. Now, the catch here is Donald Trump could lose this race entirely just from the policies that Donald Trump is putting out regarding the COVID-19 virus. That's going to be a video I do next, based on projections that are coming out, where initially the projections showed Trump winning. After COVID-19, they're showing him losing. Unless Trump changes policy, it may not even matter who Joe Biden chooses as his vice president. He is in his basement right now running against Trump, and the polling against Trump has started to turn against him, even from the standpoint of some of his key constituencies. So this choice is boring, but this choice may not matter in the least. Like, share, subscribe.